Hey guys, I'm here at Old Man Knives and Tools, checking in Amsterdam in the Netherlands, and gonna give you a brief rundown on the knife laws here in this country. They were nice enough to show me around their shop. It's one of the biggest shops in the Netherlands. I'm not sure exactly where it ranks on the list, but they've got a great selection. Everything from kind of your entry-level knives all the way up to some designers, and I've even recognized a few knife makers that I know personally in here as well. So pretty cool to see this, you know, knives from all over the world. And I'll just give you a brief little rundown. A lot of people assume, I know I make assumptions that in Europe in general it's going to be difficult or dangerous to carry a knife as far as legally. And here I think the knife laws are maybe a little more relaxed than I thought they'd be. But first I'll start off with saying in the directly downtown area where I'm sitting right now, knives are pretty much illegal. And that's mainly, I guess, because of the tourist area, I suppose, and it being such a so many people and so much going on, really metropolitan area. So that's something to know. I wouldn't recommend carrying a knife on you as a tourist here. Just probably not necessary and not worth the potential legal trouble. I'll say that there's 4 categories. One being the most dangerous item that you can have, most illegal item that you can have, and 4 being an item that you are legally allowed to have but has some potential restrictions on it for use or carry. And like everywhere that I've done so far in Europe that we've talked about this, it's a lot up to, and even in the United States to an extent, so much is left up to the judgment of the officer in the responding situation or that you come in contact with. So number 1, weapons are going to be like a switchblade, stiletto, something like an OTF knife, the balisong, butterfly knife. Those are all going to be pretty much highly illegal. Number 2 is going to be also illegal, but some people have them, but it's military grade weapons mostly. Explosives, machine guns, stuff like that. The government has them, but you pretty much have to be part of the government to have one. Number 3 would be regular firearms, or those are in a completely different category from blades or edged weapons. And then number 4 is going to be stuff like what you can buy here. It's legal to wear body armor. It's legal to own a knife that is under 11 inches total, which is a pretty big knife. And the only thing you kind of need to be careful, and that's a folding knife, and the only thing you kind of need to be careful of is you need to have a reason for having it, because it's up to the judgment of the police officer a lot of times. So that's something that you should understand. Brass knuckles, on the other hand, are extremely illegal. They're considered a category 1, and in some cases comparable to like as serious as like having cocaine or a narcotic, something to give a perspective that's also highly illegal. And I asked one of the gentleman that works here what he thought about my bone opener, self-defense. Well, the bone breaker is the self-defense version, the bone opener is the multi-tool. I asked him what he thought about legality and where that would classify. You guys know that I keep mine on me as much as possible, and I haven't gone anywhere. Went in 2 clubs last night, and in both of the clubs that I went into, the bouncer actually felt it, pulled it out, looked at it, and was like, asked me what it was in both places. Said that was just a keychain, my keys. They gave it back to me in both cases, and I went in. So they agreed here that it would probably be considered category 4, and that's something that you can have on your person, but like anything else, up to the jurisdiction of a police officer. So you guys need to be just responsible knife owners, responsible citizens, just in general, I think. And that's kind of goes without saying. But if you're not making a scene and kind of doing your own thing, and if you have a reason to have your knife or something like that, then I think that's fine, and you won't have any problems. Also, if you buy something here and it's packaged, then you'll be able to take it home with you, and you'll have no problems as long as it's packaged. They make a distinction between carry items and that are readily available, and then items for transport. You can transport, for example, throwing knives, or you can get a permit for throwing knives because, for example, guys in the circus use them as as their living, so they would apply for a permit, and then they'd be able to transport them, but still not carry them around like for everyday use through the city. If you've got any questions or comments, questions and comments below, and hopefully I gave you guys a little brief insight onto that. And if you're in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam, you got to check this place out. Bone out. They've definitely got a lot of stuff here. Here is your less lethal tools. I guess you'd consider these something similar to a bone breaker. The problem with some of these, like the Boker and some of these pens, is they look so aggressive. So I bet if you tried to get into a club with one of those, they'd take them from you. Like I said last night, I got in all the clubs with my bone opener. And then here's some training knives, cold steel training knives. Got a pretty huge Victorinox section. Pretty awesome. Some survival stuff, flashlights. There's old Bear Grylls. And some pretty high quality looking katanas. I'm not familiar with the company, but they do look very high quality to me. They've got some Todd Begg custom stuff at the higher end, some of the highest end stuff they have, and then Forge de Laguole. I'm not probably botching that, but it's a French company that makes some beautiful knives. And the Rockstead is some of the higher production quality stuff. So bushcraft stuff, they've got some pretty big name brands in the bushcraft section. Looks really nice looking stuff. I'm definitely impressed with the selection. Fox knives, fall kniving. Ooh, that's a pretty cool looking karambit. I like the handle scales. Ghost Jade G10. Not sure who makes that, but that's cool looking. A little big to carry, but you can't carry it here anyway, probably. I have no reason to. Remember, you have to have a reason. A lot of cold steel. CRKT. Getting down to the lower end stuff with the CRKT. Real steels, good stuff. So they've got a pretty much something for everybody. They've got men's, gentlemen's stuff, shaving kits, multi-tools, flashlights. The Opinel, obviously, very famous French. They got their own locking system. You guys, I'm sure, have seen some Boker stuff and kitchenware, cookware, kitchen knives. Nice Japanese steel. And a big Spyderco booth. I love Spyderco. I'm a big Spyderco fan. You guys know I've worked with Spyderco on reviews and some outreach program stuff for disabled veterans, so real big fan of Spyderco. They've got some neck knives. No EDC Kank, unfortunately, but they've got some decent neck knives. Maybe one day they'll have the best. Bone Tactical. Most effective edged weapons and self-defense tools in the world. Checking out.